San Diego continues to be at the forefront in the COVID-19 vaccine effort. Zach has more in the lead report.
Sports are playing with empty stadiums, and a Hall of Famer is finally joining social media. Vicky Pineda will have more.
A local Escondido resident is vying for a chance in the America's Got Talent semifinals. Did she make it? Find out in entertainment.
And fall is around the corner, but a rise in temperature will remind us that summer is not over yet. Details coming up in our weather forecast. Newscene starts now.
Hello, I'm Ben Guadarrama.
And I'm Noelle Mortensen. Welcome to the first edition of Newscene for the fall 2020. As City College classes remain online, Newscene continues to work remotely, but our commitment to bringing you the news of the week remains as strong as ever.
Thanks, Noelle. We start tonight with a look at the COVID-19 pandemic in San Diego. 5 more deaths were announced yesterday, marking a grim milestone. 700 people have died from COVID-19 in our county. While 325 new cases were reported, that is a 4% positive rate. Overall, San Diego sits well below the required state minimum of 8%. 2 new community outbreaks were also reported at a local business and a restaurant.
The World Health Organization is working on a global vaccine, but the U.S. will not be involved. Give us the details, Zach.
The COVID-19 pandemic continues to surge in America, leaving many Americans looking for a vaccine. The U.S. has refused to take part in a global effort to develop a vaccine. That push has been partially led by the World Health Organization, which the Trump administration has been at odds with since the pandemic's start.
They have refused to act because they have failed to make the requested and greatly needed reforms. We will be today terminating our relationship with the World Health Organization and redirecting those funds to other worldwide and deserving urgent global public health needs. The world needs answers from China on the virus.
U.S. officials are aiming for a vaccine to be rolled out by January 2021. It's an ambitious effort to accelerate the development of a vaccine by funding the companies that make them.
He's launching Operation Warp Speed, which is going to compress and wring out every inefficiency in the process, take away every unused day, and also scale up at the same time manufacturing so that as we get vaccines that work, we'll be able to actually distribute them right away because we're manufacturing at the same time. So President Trump is setting, as he always does, ambitious goals, but he's got the right team in place to make this happen.
The plan allows for at least 5 government contracts for different vaccine makers. One of these companies, AstraZeneca, will have its vaccine tested through UC San Diego. That trial is including over 1,600 people starting September 8th. The trial will be administered to those who are considered to be at an increased risk of infection due to where they live or work. This marks the second major vaccine trial to come to UCSD, making San Diego a very important testing ground for the COVID-19 vaccine.
Thanks, Zach. The World Health Organization claims the best way to treat critically ill COVID patients is with steroids. The WHO claims common and cheap steroids have been shown to reduce deaths by 20%. Officials warn these steroids should only be given to the most ill patients. The steroids are not to be given to patients with mild symptoms.
California lawmakers failed to pass a high-profile police reform bill. The state Senate leader Tony Atkins is vowing to keep fighting. The bill would have stripped problematic police officers of their badges, but law enforcement officials said the bill was biased. Atkins says that she will bring the bill back again in 2021.
And San Diego's MTS has a new plan to collect from fare violators. Fines will be reduced from nearly $200 to just $25. Riders caught riding without paying can also opt for 3 hours of community service at a San Diego nonprofit. The new plan starts later this month.
San Diego County is delaying enforcement of parking laws a little bit longer. Parking meters and street sweeping violations have been on hold since March. The goal was to offer relief to residents and visitors hurt financially by COVID-19. Normal parking enforcement is expected to resume on October 1st.
A Sports Hall of Famer recently joined social media. Vicky, tell us more.
Thank you, Ben. We start tonight with professional sports carrying on with games played in ghost stadiums. The sports world has returned with shorter seasons after going without a single game for at least 100 days. And colleges have postponed their seasons until 2021. That includes our very own San Diego City College teams. The San Diego Padres are on the rise, and their team's fast start is boosted by some serious trades made this week. The Padres have added pitching help and another catcher to the roster before the trade deadline, and that is on top of the all-star performances of Fernando Tatis Jr. and Manny Machado. If the Padres can hold on to their standings, they can make their first playoff appearances in 14 years. Legendary Los Angeles Dodgers broadcaster Vince Scully has been away from the mic for 4 years, but fans have a new place to find him on Twitter. The 92-year-old Hall of Famer delighted fans by posting a video sharing the big news.
Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant good afternoon to you. This is Vin making his debut on social media, and it's nice to be welcomed. I'm delighted to see if I can't serve you in any way, shape, or form.
Scully called games for 67 years for the Dodger Blue. And one of golf's greatest picked up his phone on Tuesday night and wrote a special message to his former rival. After winning his Champions Tour debut, Phil Mickelson shared a heartwarming message directed towards Tiger Woods. In the tweet, the San Diego product thanked Woods for all he's done for this game of golf. Both Woods and Mickelson will be in the field for the U.S. Open at Winged Foot on September 17th. That's all I have for sports. Back to you, Ben and Noel.
Movie theaters around California will officially open today, but not without new guidelines to ensure your safety. Masks and social distancing will be required. Theaters also must limit the number of people inside. Risk in California means only 25% in the theater's capacity will be allowed in.
The nominations for Country Music Awards are in. Tasia has more.
Thank you, Noelle. The quarantine isn't stopping music awards this season, and country music stars are still celebrating their CMA nominations. Both Miranda Lambert and Carrie Underwood are nominated for Entertainer of the Year. It's the first time 2 women have been nominated in a decade. They're up against Luke Combs, Eric Church, and Keith Urban, but they'll have to wait until November 11th to find out who wins. The awards will be broadcast on ABC. And speaking of music shows, did you see it? Escondido resident Selena Graves has made it through to the semifinals on America's Got Talent. Graves was up against 11 other acts, all vying for a spot in the top 5. With her soulful rendition of Strong by London Grammar, the 31-year-old secured her spot in the semifinals. We can't wait to see where her path takes her. Now over in Hollywood, Forbes has just announced that director, writer, and producer Tyler Perry has made its billionaires list. Perry's estimated worth tops $1.4 billion. Amazing? Well, did you know that Perry dropped out of high school and was once homeless? Now, years later, his credits include countless movies and plays. And don't forget his Atlanta studio, which allows him to control every aspect of his productions. However, it is a little bit darker over in Wakanda right now. Actor Chadwick Boseman, best known for playing King T'Challa, died last week following a 4-year battle with colon cancer. But his high school is doing its part to honor his memory. The South Carolina school is setting up a scholarship in his honor. And for more information or to donate to the fund, visit the TL Hanna High School website. That's all I have for entertainment. Back to you.
Got plans for the weekend? Make sure you're staying hydrated. There's an excessive heat warning for San Diego County, and Jesus Lopez has the latest.
Thank you, Ben. Let's start with weather headlines, because if you're feeling the heat at home, it's because we do have an excessive heat warning for most of our county. It's due to a high pressure that's moving from the northwest all the way to our area. This high pressure is drier than most of the high pressures that we're used to. That means we get to sweat, yes, but it will evaporate much faster from our skin. That means we get dehydrated even faster. We have to stay hydrated, or we have to intake more water than we usually do. With that said, we do have elevated fire danger, and that will be through the weekend and next week as well. So I discourage making any campfires as well. And we do have some promising moisture heading towards the deserts area, but that will be later in the work week next week. With that said, current conditions are in the clear side. We do have sunny skies, and we'll continue that way. Even at nighttime, it will be clear, or a star-studded night, I should say. And temperatures will be on the warm side, upper 60s along the coast, 70s in the inland area, and upper 80s for the desert. So definitely a warm night, a night to turn on the AC. And that will lead on to our weekend. Our weekend will be, oh boy, it will be hot. Temperatures will be in the triple digits along the coast, and for the inland communities, some places may surpass 115 degrees. That is setting records, beating records across the board. Make sure you're staying hydrated, and if you're doing any outdoor activities during the heat of the peak hour, which is around noon, you are staying under a shaded area, a tree, an umbrella, and you're drinking plenty of fluids. Avoid sodas and avoid caffeinated drinks as coffee or lattes. For that sake, just drink water on the weekend and moving forward as well, because the heat will stay until early next week. With that being said, our national outlook, we do have some rain in Texas, Louisiana. That's due to a cold front. That's right, fall is in the air, and it's creating some instability around that area of our country, and it's creating some rain. For our home though, here back home in our backyard, we do have that ridge of high pressure. The ridge of high pressure will continue to dominate our weather forecast till next week. It will weaken just a little bit, and that will give some way to some monsoon or moisture. But for the desert community, a 10 to 20% chance of rain. In our 5-day forecast, conditions will be hot for Saturday, Sunday, and even into Monday. If you're doing outdoor activities for this Labor Day weekend, stay hydrated and stay safe. That's all I have for weather. Back to you.
Wow, that's going to be a hot one this weekend. That's all the news that we have for tonight, but we'll be back next week. Stay cool.